Welcome back to episode 4. I'm Edit Jeanie, and today we're finally getting cozy with the timeline. What even is a sequence? A sequence is your editing workspace where you arrange, edit, and assemble your clips. It's basically your timeline. But here's something I want you to make a note of. Your sequence is not the same as your project file. You can think of it like this. The project file is like the cover of a book. It holds everything together, but it isn't the content itself. Sequences are like the individual chapters inside the book. Each one is a self-contained section of the story, with its own flow, but they all live inside the same book. For example, a YouTube editor might have their video broken down into a Chapter 1 intro sequence, a Chapter 2 main video sequence, and a Chapter 3 outro sequence. And then all the assets in your bins are like the pages and all of the words and images that haven't been arranged yet. Sometimes with longer, more complicated projects, it makes more sense to break down sections of an edit into multiple sequences. However, if your project is simple enough, using just one sequence is perfectly fine. Now there are several ways to create a sequence. The first one being, you can actually drag and drop your footage right into the timeline to create a sequence. When you do that, Premiere creates one that automatically matches the settings of your clip. If you want to view what your actual sequence settings are, or maybe you need to change them, you can come up here to Sequence and Sequence Settings. And right here we can see that it was automatically set to 24 frames per second and 3840 by 2160. You can also change these at any point that you need to, and same with resolution. Also, just a quick note to remember that when you change these settings right here, you are only changing the settings for the sequence itself and you are not permanently altering the settings of the clip. Another way you can create a sequence, and this is actually what I recommend to do because sometimes you don't want to use the same settings as your clip, but what you can do for that is you can actually come down here to this little sticky note looking thing, click it, and you can click sequence right here. And then you can choose from a whole array of settings. You can name your sequence down here, click OK, and then it will make this sequence for you. In your project panel, you can differentiate what is footage and what is a sequence by looking at the icons here. We can tell that this is a video clip because it's showing a video icon, and the sequence icon looks like a timeline with a playhead. If you've got multiple sequences open right here, you can rearrange the order by clicking, holding, and dragging. You can also close sequences by clicking the little X mark next to the name. Sometimes when you're editing, your sequence can accidentally get closed like that, but don't worry, it's not permanently gone. If you close out a sequence that you need opened again, just find the name of the sequence you closed and double click it, and it'll open right back up. To add footage to our timeline, all you need to do is simply select the footage you want to add, click it, hold, drag, and drop. And boom! You're officially editing now. If you're playing your video and your computer's being really slow and choppy with your edits, there's actually more you can do to improve the playback performance of your computer. One of the ways you can do that is by creating proxies. What proxies are is they're compressed copies of the same exact clip, which help free up your computer's resources while you edit. To create a proxy of your footage, right-click the clip, come down to Proxy, and create proxies. You can choose from these settings right here. It's totally just fine though to leave it on ProRes QuickTime Proxy. You can also choose to have a proxy icon watermark, or you can turn it off. I like to have the icon on though to remind myself when I am viewing a proxy. And then for location, you can have it next to your original clips in a proxy folder, or you can set it to a different location. I personally like to just have it be in its own proxy folder inside the same project, so click that. And now Media Encoder is now going to work on making that a proxy for us. So now this clip has a proxy, and in order to enable the proxy, what you need to do is click this icon right here. And this toggles the proxy, which helps with playback. And you know the proxy's on because I enabled the watermark and I can see it right here. To toggle it off, just hit the button again. If for some reason you're not seeing the toggle proxies icon up here, to check that, what you can do is click this plus icon right here. You'll see more buttons up here, and you should see it right here. Just click and drag, and then click OK, and then it should be up there now. The other thing you can do when your computer is struggling during editing with playback is you can actually come up here to playback resolution. If you have it set to full, that means it's going to display full quality in your window here. And when you do that and you have a bunch of stuff in your timeline, it can lead to poor playback. So what you can do is you can actually turn this down to half quality. Sometimes I have to go even to a quarter quality, and that will make the preview here look lower res, but it will free up computer resources and have smoother playback. Alright, another thing I want to talk about is when you are adding clips and assets into Premiere, you're going to have these lines up here, and they will either be yellow, red, or green. These bars show you the status of your preview files and how well your computer can play that section back in real time. The green bar here means the section is fully rendered and Premiere already has preview files ready, so playback here should be a lot smoother. Yellow means that no render files currently exist, but Premiere expects your computer to handle the playback in real time without issues. Here we have a red bar.
That's a lot of damage!
And this usually shows up when you're working with heftier effects, lots of graphics, or higher resolution footage. If you ever see red or yellow and your playback is struggling, that is Premiere asking for your help.
Help me!
To fix this, all you need to do is select the section of your edit that has the yellow or the red. You can hit I to create an in point on your timeline, and O to create an out point, and then you can come up here to sequence and render into out to render from the in and end point. To remove the in and out point, you can just right click in this highlighted area and then click clear in and out. Okay, something else I'd like to show you in your editing workflow is, remember the source monitor that I introduced from episode 3? Well, when you double click a clip and you're viewing it from the source monitor in here, you can actually select a section of the clip by creating the same in and out points. So when you're watching it, you can hit I for the in point, you'll see it highlight here, and then hit O for the out point. And then if you just want the video of the clip and you don't want the audio, you can click this little video icon, click and drag it, and it will add to your timeline this little highlighted section. You can do the same exact thing if you just want the audio. You can click and drag. The other thing you can do right here, when you click the insert button, it will insert the in and out points of this clip exactly where your playhead here is. This button is the overwrite button. If you click this, it will add that clip wherever your playhead was. So it added it in between these two clips. Okay, now I want to go over the timeline panel more in depth. So earlier I mentioned the playhead, and that is this blue thing right here. It's also referred to as the CTI, current time indicator.
It's time to stop!
The playhead shows you where you are in your video. Alright, the next thing I would like to go over is your timeline layers. By default, Premiere gives you 3 video layers and 3 to 4 audio layers. These V1 layers are all the video ones, and you can only have video clips. And then the A1, A2, A3, these are all of your audio tracks, and you can only have audio related files here. They are separated by this thicker gray bar right here, which you can click and drag. If you drag it up, your audio tracks will be more visible. If you drag this down, your video tracks will be more visible. There's these little tiny gray lines in between each track, and you can individually make them larger or smaller by clicking and dragging. And you can do the exact same thing for your audio tracks too. These little slider bars over here can also achieve the same thing, except it will do it for all of them at once. So if you click and drag and hold this, it will make all of your audio tracks either smaller or larger. Same thing right here for the video tracks. You can also click and hold and drag the middle of it right here to reveal additional video layers you have. Same exact thing for the audio right here. You can also use this slider bar down here to slide left and right on your timeline. And you can click and hold the circle at one of the ends to zoom in or zoom out. There's also hotkeys you can use to achieve the same thing. By pressing the plus icon on your keyboard, you zoom in, and by pushing the minus icon, you zoom out. If you need to add additional audio or video tracks, how you do that is by right-clicking up here in the video space and hit Add Tracks. You can add any amount you need, so if I need 2, and click OK, or you can come up here and just click Add a single track and it'll add another track. You can do the same exact thing for your audio. If you need additional tracks, come down here and click Add Track. And now you have 6 audio tracks and 6 video tracks. This eye icon right here is your toggle off and on button in viewing. So when you click this, it's going to hide everything in this track from visibility. When you click it again, you toggle it back on. This lock icon, by clicking it, locks the contents of this entire track so that they can't be moved, deleted, shifted, or altered in any way, shape, or form. For the audio tracks, I'm going to go more in depth on what these mean in my future audio basics video, so be on the lookout for that. Alright, to go back to the timeline here, we're going to talk about how to unlink your audio from your video clips. So by default, Premiere has the video and audio of your clip locked together. So when you move the clip, the audio and the video move together as one. So let's say you're editing and you don't want that to happen. You don't want your video and your audio to move together. The way you would unlink these is by right-clicking, coming up here and hitting Unlink. Now you can move your audio and video of your clip independently. If you have a lot of clips in your timeline that you need the flexibility of shifting the audio and the video over, but you don't want to manually go over and unlink them all, there's another button to have stuff be unlinked by default. Just uncheck this link selection button, and now all of the clips in your timeline are by default going to be unlinked. You can also reactivate this at any time, and now these videos are linked again. You can also tell when a video is linked because it will have this V parentheses icon, and when it is unlinked, it will not have that. Alright, the next timeline tool we're going to talk about is the magnet icon, and this magnet icon right here snaps your clips, and what that means is, do you see how when I move this clip around, how there's this black line at the end that helps me line it up? That is what the snapping does. Helps me perfectly line up this to the edge of the prior clip. Now, if for some reason you don't want this on, or it's somehow accidentally turned off, come up here to the magnet, uncheck it to unsnap, and now you can freely move this clip around wherever without the border. Or if you're like, hey, my snapping's not working, come up here and check this and make sure that this is selected. And then this icon is not one that you guys need to worry about learning yet. This one becomes relevant once I teach you about nests. Next up, if you're editing and you need more space, let's say you need to make the timeline bigger because you're trying to fine-tune stuff, or maybe you're previewing your videos and you really want this to be bigger, the way you can do that is hover over the panel that you need to make bigger and then click the tilde key, and it will full screen whatever panel you were hovering over. If you hit the tilde key again, it'll minimize it back to where it was. Same thing with the timeline. This is a hotkey that I frequently use when I'm editing. It's usually when I'm fine-tuning a cut. I'll hit the tilde key, make it bigger, do the cut I need to do, and then hit the tilde key again to go out. You can also do the same thing with project panel if you're sorting through a lot of clips and you just need the full screen. But that is something I end up using a lot in my edits, and I highly recommend you utilize it too because it's super, super handy. And that's it for episode 4. Next up, we're going to get busy cutting, trimming, and getting more familiar with the editing tools. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe for more editing magic. And I'll see you next time. The same timeline, way more fun.